Yo, I gotta give it up to Top Dawg. The marketing to this album was genius, and I would do that for my shit, but see, the realistic pre-order goal for me would be like 2. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad of Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews Hip Hop Data. Today we got an album review today. We're going to be talking about the brand new album from probably one of the most slept on members of one of the hottest labels and groups in hip hop today. This nigga's back. He dropped a follow-up. We all been anticipating the shit. He made us wait 4 fucking years, but he's finally here. So let's talk about the shit. Talking about the new album from J-Rock entitled 90059. Now, for those who don't know, J-Rock is a member of TDE, Top Dawg Entertainment, who, like I said, is probably the most popular label and collective out in hip-hop right now. And J-Rock actually was the first member of that collective to actually drop and be put out to the forefront. But unfortunately, when Kendrick came out, shit changed and he became the motherfucking top dog in the Top Dawg crew. And J-Rock kind of got lost in the sauce for a bit because then Schoolboy came and shut shit down and Soul was coming. And then I was like, what the fuck is J-Rock? Where that nigga been? What he doing? Was he fucking sleeping? What the fuck? J-Rock dropped some shit. And then he was like, yo, I got y'all. 4 years later though, but I got y'all. And now that's what we're gonna talk about right now. The new album, 90059. So now let's see if J-Rock gave us an album that was worth the wait and the hype and the crazy marketing scheme where you had to pre-order the shit in order to get it sooner, because if not, we wasn't gonna see this shit till 2016. So let's see if all that shit they did was worth the album. Let's talk about the shit. And when I first put in this album, I quickly realized that this album fits J-Rock's style and fucking persona. It's real dark, it's real laid back, real chill, but it's got this aggression to it and it's just fucking griminess to it that fits J-Rock's style well. He's from Watts, California, so the sound of this album and the production really fits his style, that West Coast style. Like I said, the beats here are real dark, laid back, real grimy, but what I also found out is the beats really don't stand out too much. They're real chill and low key, so there's not really many standout beats here. They're just okay for the most part. He's got a lot of different producers on here, but the producer with the most credits on here goes by the name of Jay Pounds, and he did quite a few tracks on here. But he's also got niggas like Black Metaphor and Sky Hutch and Antidote and Thank God for Cody and Chris Calor and Smokey got beats, and that's all in one fucking song right there. Also Tay Beast, Cardo's here, Young Exclusive, Day One, Flipper, J Proof. Did I say Soundwave? That nigga Soundwave's there too. If I didn't say it once, I said it twice. Fuck it. But point is this, it's quite a few producers on here, but all of them on here pretty much give J-Rock the same type of style and sound. All these beats here are real low key, kind of chill in the back, and really pretty much gives J-Rock the forefront to be there. But the problem with that is you kind of get lost in the beats and you really don't fucking, you kind of tune out of the beats at times. Some of the beats here are so laid back and chill that they really don't stand out or have anything that's really cool about them. Like, yeah, they got some nice drums on here, got some nice real, dark, gritty, piano or, horn or string things, but it's nothing really that's out of the ordinary, and it's just something that's just like, it's okay on the production tip. I didn't hate any of the beats, but I didn't absolutely love any of these beats on this album. I wasn't like going crazy when I heard a track. It was like I had a nice head nodding joint or something laid back that I could vibe with, but nothing that really stuck too much with me. And that's pretty much what I gotta say. Don't fucking hate me for the beats. They made the shit, not me. Now let's talk about J-Rock, because he is the star of this shit. Now if you've never listened to J-Rock, he's got a really dope lyrical ability. He's got real bars. He's fucking dope on the mic. And he's even got this real aggressive, gruff delivery. But the only thing about J-Rock that I've always had advice about is that when it comes to a songwriting standpoint, he never could find the best hooks or the best, beats or just craft an overall good song. He'll have some really strong verses, but a verse can only get you so long when you're trying to make a full song to really grab somebody. So that was the only thing about J-Rock that really kind of just work on that shit, nigga. And I was hoping on this album he would really like fucking seal that up and get that fucking tightened up and nice and good so we can get a good fucking album. And unfortunately on this album he has gotten better. He's grown as an artist. Lyrically he's gotten better. Songwriting wise he's gotten better, but he's not quite there yet on the level of how a Kendrick would make a song or a Schoolboy or even an Ab-Soul. He's still falling behind his TDE counterparts on the songwriting tip, and that's one thing that I just need J-Rock to fucking up on. Other than that though, he's fucking bringing bars. He's spitting on here. He's playing around with different flows, and you can tell he's just really developed more from the last album. 4 years, you can really tell he's made a difference in his craft and his style, but he's just got a little few other things to take care of, and then he's going to be up on that same level because J-Rock has that ability. He is just as lyrical as the rest of the members of TDE. He is just as dope, and he is super slept on, and he does not need to be because the nigga's got skills. He just got to fine-tune a couple goddamn things. That's just it, just that. But for the most part, J-Rock is on his album spitting front to back, And it's 11 tracks on here, and he's doing his damn thing. He's playing around with different subject matters and whatnot, but he's sticking true to himself. He's not really, you know, going too far out of the box, but he is being very unique with what he knows what to do, which is dope. And the features that he got on the album are what you would expect from J-Rock to have on his album. He's got the TDE crew on here, but he's also got a few other cats on here. And for 11 tracks, there are a considerable amount of features on here, but you do still get to see J-Rock stand out and shine at moments. But he's got the whole Black Hippie crew, so Kendrick's here, Schoolboy's here, Absol's here. He's also got the other members of TDE, Isaiah Rashad and SZA on the album. Busta Rhymes here, some nigga named Sir, he's here, and Lance Skywalker, who I believe is his alter ego. And even with a feature list this dope, I still got kind of let down by it, especially with the Isaiah Rashad feature. I was hoping I was going to get a verse from Isaiah Rashad, but instead I just got a hook, which was a bit of a letdown. But I did like SZA's vocals on here. Kendrick's vocals on his first feature, I really didn't care too much for. It was okay. I liked, you know, the Black Hippie track a little bit better with that, with the whole collective, but that wasn't even really super great to me. And for the most part, the features on here were hit and miss. Not hit and miss, more like okay to really good, but not terrible. But it's just like, you know, like the people who are on here, they could do better. If you knew better, you could do better, and they knew fucking better, so they should have did fucking better. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Now, you know I gotta give you my top 5 tracks, and this is a little bit difficult because there's only 11 songs on this damn album. It's a short one, and it took me a while. I was bouncing back and forth. I had to listen to the album multiple times because, like I said, overall, the album really didn't wow me or impress me. There were a few standouts, sort of, so these are the ones that really I tended to like a little bit more than the rest of them, and those are, hold on, I know I'm not fucking ready. Shut the fuck up. Gumbo, 90059, Fly on the Wall, Money Trees Deuce, and The Message. Now, I know what you're thinking. Granddad, you ain't put fucking Vice City, the Black Hippie track on it? No, nigga, I didn't. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna go ahead and get that shit out the way. Yes, the concept is cool. The little flow that they had on there, that they were all doing the same flow, was very unique and cool. The beat on there was okay, but it didn't stand out to me. And overall, like, as far as Black Hippie is concerned, when you got this collective of group of lyricists, they could have delivered a way better lyrical song. I know it wasn't about the lyrics, it's about the whole vibe of it, but for me, when a Black Hippie track, I hear it, I want to hear fucking bars, and I wish they would have, like, you know, really just broke up the monotony of that flow, because the flow was really unique, but when everybody did it, they did it in their own sort of twang way, but it was just like, an okay track overall. It was a standout, but it was just okay. But I will say, I like Schoolboy's part the most out of all 4 of them. Schoolboy stood out the most to me. So I'll say that about the Black Hippie track, but it didn't make top 5, so fuck you, don't fucking bitch about it, because I know niggas will. So the first track, Gumbo, was actually a single put out a couple months ago, and I really like this track because it's got a real laid back, real groovy, just chill vibe, and J-Rock is just pretty much, you know, talking that street shit, but he's also, luckily because of the song's called Gumbo, he's giving you food for thought in between that, and it's just a real chill track, something you can ride to. It's got that West Coast vibe, the beat's really dope on here, and I just think it's the first real standout to me, and it's a song that when I first heard it, I liked it, and even in the context of the album, it still became one of my favorites, so I know you probably already heard the shit, but hear the shit again, it's fucking dope. Gumbo's a track. I want some gumbo too. I'm fucking hungry. Who's got gumbo? Y'all got gumbo? I want some. The second track, 90059, is probably the most aggressive and the most energetic that J-Rock is on this album, which really stands out to me. He even uses a bit of an OD Beats type flow for his hook. At first, when you hear this shit, you kind of put off about it, but when you listen to it, it grows on you kind of, and I like this shit, actually. I'm not gonna lie. And this is, like I said, his most aggressive. He's got some of his aggressive bars on here, and it's just him showing like us some energy for the first time. This is probably the most energetic track. The beat on here is real weird. It really does sound like something ODB would have been on, and it's got this real like fucking just crazy like fucking nails on a chalkboard, like eerie sound. I can't fucking explain the shit, and it's got these real dirty drums on it. It's a real dope track, especially because of the energy that it gives off, and I think it's something you should check out. And if you're a fan of ODB, it's kind of cool to hear J-Rock trying to do that imitation, because it doesn't sound half bad once you get used to it. It really doesn't. The next track, Fly on the Wall, is probably one of my favorite tracks on here. This is where J-Rock actually is doing a story narrative type thing where he's actually a fly on the wall. Well, not a physical fly, but he's observing some shit that's going down. He tells a street narrative about a young guy who comes up, gets into the drug game and, you know, makes some money, and a whole bunch of other shit goes down, and he's just telling that story. And it's just his first time where he's actually on the whole album actually telling a story and actually breaking away from his standard rhyming format and his song subject matter. So it's a real standout track based off that. It's also a Busta Rhymes feature on here where Busta talks about how he met J-Rock and his relationship with J-Rock, and just pretty much how he's giving him props, and sort of just, you know, he's the big homie giving the little homie the props that he deserves. So it's a dope track. The beat on here is probably one of the best beats on here. It's real laid back. It's got some nice drums. It's got some nice, soulful, smooth vibes to it. And it's just something that really, really lets J-Rock tell his story very, very well. And it just complements both him and Busta. So this is definitely a standout track and one of my favorites. Next song is Money Trees Deuce. And this is another single that came out a couple months ago before the album dropped. And this was another standout. I like this track because he keeps that same flow that I had in Money Trees 1 what he did with Kendrick, but he just brings it over to his own track. The beat, sort of like Gumbo, is real laid back, but it still gives J-Rock that ability to talk his shit and give his natural flow and style. And it's just a dope hook on there. I like the hook that's done on there, and everything about this track just fucking stands out. And that's why it was a single, because it has that power to stand out, just like Gumbo did. So if you like Gumbo, you're gonna like Money Trees Deuce. And I wish I had a money tree because I'm fucking broke, nigga. And he has 2 of them. He said deuce. That's 2. So this nigga's got 2 money trees and he ain't sharing. J-Rock, share your shit. And the last track on my top 5 is actually the last track on the album. It's the closer, and it's a track called The Message. And I like this song so much because this is pretty much J-Rock just, you know, he's telling it like it is. He's conveying a message. He's talking about everything that he's been through to get to where he's at. You know, the hard work he's had to put in, and it's got a really dope hook. But I don't fucking know who did the shit, but they fucking killed that hook. And I can't find out who did the shit, but whoever did the shit, you killed that hook. So acknowledge yourself so we can give you the proper props, nigga. And J-Rock is probably his most lyrical on here. He's got his best bars on here, and he's just doing probably one. This is probably, as far as the song goes, this is probably one of the best well-crafted songs on the album. So it's a perfect fit for the closer, but I just wish he had more songs of this quality around the album, because most of the album is just meh, and this is a shining moment. Actually, the last 3 tracks are probably the highlight of this album, which kind of sucks because it makes the first 8 just kind of a drag, except for little things here and there. But for the most part, it's a solid album, but for the hype and anticipation, I was really looking forward to this, and I know J-Rock could do a lot better. It does not live up to that hype, and I know it could have been a better album, and it kind of let me down because I wanted this shit to be fucking super duper levels where he blows up, and he's just gonna probably have an album where it's just like a cool album. It'll get a little bit of attention, but it's probably not gonna really solidify him. So hopefully on the next one, he'll amp it up, he'll fix those little things, and we'll get a proper J-Rock album that's certified super classic. But this one's pretty damn solid, I gotta give you that. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that J-Rock 90059 is an overall pretty solid album, just minus a few things like some subpar beats and some not great songwriting, lackluster hooks, but really, really dope bars and really, really dope concepts when they do shine out. All I'm saying is that beats are meh, bars are dope, features are good for the most part, and I know for a follow-up album in 4 years, it does not live up to the hype that was built up for it, but I do believe that it is a very solid album, and it's a really good showing that J-Rock has shown a lot of growth and development, and I'm looking forward to see what the next album is going to do, if he's going to grow and develop more, and maybe we'll get that official classic. But this is a pretty damn good album, so I mean, it's got some shining moments on there. So for me, I gotta say that J-Rock 90059 is not Granddad approved, but I will give it a Granddad recommended. So go check it out. It's out right now. You can stream it on Apple Music. You can buy it on iTunes. I don't think the physical shit's out yet, but then when it comes out, you can buy that shit too. And it's a pretty decent album. It's got some dope tracks on here. Production's pretty cool. Nothing really crazy, nothing really super standoutish, but J-Rock did an overall solid job, and he has grown a lot as an artist. And you gotta commend that shit. So I got nothing more to say. J-Rock 90059 is Granddad recommended. So go listen to the shit right now. Flip it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of J-Rock 90059 if you've heard it. If you haven't heard it, like I said, it's a pretty solid album. I think he could have did better. It's meh on some parts, but it does have some shining moments. So it's overall solid. Not the worst, but definitely not the best album I've heard this year. But it's got some dope cuts on there for the most part. Previous videos on the side, as well as my music video. Check those out. Show them some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen, button below, Woolly Reviews, twice a week, gaming channel, check that out, and I got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, Granddaughter, J-Rock 90059, I couldn't do the shit you did to release this shit because I literally 2 pre-orders is what I would have to say because I'm not embarrassing myself. Fuck that shit, nigga. I'm gonna just drop my album. I don't have one, but if I might be working on one. Don't worry about what I'm doing, nigga. Listen to this shit. I'm out of here.